It's so sad to see all the damage it's done.
It's just so much water. It's just phenomenal.
It's moving real quick. It's coming up real quick.
You know, we're kind of stuck, deserted here right now. Obviously, you can see the hell that came through here.
But it just flooded in, like up to our chests.
It's in my backyard.
Already water is inside.
All these houses are evacuated. The house across the street, they had to evacuate.
My house is underwater and I don't know what's left.
Everybody's just coming together, trying their best to do whatever they can for others.
We all need each other right now.
We're at the mercy of Mother Nature, like always, so we just gotta wait and see.
The rain has finally tapered off, but the damage from this atmospheric river isn't done just yet. In the lowlands, King 5 meteorologists say somewhere between 4 and 6 inches of rain fell as of this morning. In the mountains, up to 16 inches. All of this is pouring into our communities, some now buried in floodwater. This is some new video from the Catastrophic County Sheriff's Office showing a landslide in Cle Elum that destroyed the first floor of a home there. You could see the path of that slide. It slammed right into a wall. We are seeing images like this from across the region. Rising rivers covering roads, taking down trees, spurring landslides, and forcing people from their homes. Governor Ferguson has this message for Washingtonians.
I just want to emphasize that if you have instructions to evacuate from your local authorities, please, please, please evacuate. You know, your life is extremely important to us.
Several communities face evacuation orders tonight, including in Mount Vernon, Puyallup, and Sumner. Those are near rivers that are reaching record levels. There's also concern about some dams and levees working overtime to hold the water back. The risk isn't only on land. The Coast Guard is warning all boaters to just be careful out on the water, along with the strong currents. The storm has also washed a lot of debris, some of it very hard to see. It's urging extreme caution out on the water. And speaking of hazards, look what floated past the Mukilteo terminal this morning in the dark. Hard to make out there, right in the middle of your screen. That's a 100-foot crewless vessel just adrift. The ferry Tokate there at the top of your screen with the spotlights on it, watching it go by. Somehow it missed the dock completely. We have team coverage for you tonight. Jim Nelson and Maddie White are seeing the lasting impact of this storm on the ground. But first, we're going to begin with Perella Lewis, and we are getting a bit of a break from the rain, but a lot more to get through still.
So much more. You know, the rainfall itself is tapering off, so that's good news. But the flooding is going to continue for the next day or two, depending on where you live. These flood warnings still very much intact, and currently about 11 rivers experiencing major flood, even ongoing at this time. This will continue for tomorrow as well. Here's some rivers that will crest. A couple crested, a couple of hours ago, but Skagit at Mount Vernon, it broke a record tonight, by the way, in the 9 o'clock hour, but it is still expected to crest between 4 and 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then the Green River near Auburn, well, that'll be at its highest point as we go into Saturday. So here's a look at some record levels. The Nooksack broke a record today, Snohomish, Cedar, and yes, Skagit at Mount Vernon. So more will be cresting tomorrow, and again, 1 or 2 on Saturday. So rivers covering roadways, not over just yet, but we will take a look at some dry time, some good news when we come back here in just a minute.
Well, the Division Street Bridge is now closed in Mount Vernon as downtown and the west side of the city remain under mandatory evacuation orders. A more than century-old dike is holding as the Skagit River hits record flood levels, but there is still a flash flood watch in place in case the levees fail.
When that pressure builds up, water wants to equalize, and it'll find ways underneath the dike.
Crews built temporary berms over the past 24 hours to shore up that system. Flood walls installed in downtown Mount Vernon also remain in place tonight. Evacuations extend all the way up the Skagit River, with 75,000 people forced to leave their homes. King 5's Jim Nelson reports from Burlington, where parts of Highway 20 are underwater tonight.
Well, Greg, it's bad and only getting worse. That closure on Highway 20 extends for 2 to 3 miles, essentially from Cedar-Woolley all the way here to Burlington. I want to preface this by saying that we are here with permission and under the supervision of the fire department as well as Washington State Patrol. This is the tail end of the closure on the Burlington side. Walk with me. We'll shine our spotlight on the runoff here from that flooded highway. Now coming off here, you can see how fast, how powerful this rushing water is as it drains off. Again, The water still rising at this point. This, just a small sampling of what people around here are dealing with tonight. It went from bad to worse in Skagit County.
It's moving real quick. It's coming up real quick.
A fast-moving deluge overtaking parts of Highway 20 just north of the river between Sedro-Woolley and Burlington.
The floodwater is in their, in their yards now. So they just sent out some emergency alerts.
Some raced out, others rushed in, clearly concerned about what they left behind. Independent journalist Chris Nelson streams live as the situation unfolds.
It is, yeah, it's closed. It's all flooded. But as you can see from where we were, it's now at least, half a mile maybe down westbound on 20.
He's been monitoring the entire county all day. And here he watched as cars sunk deeper, as the water crept up the homes and over the railroad tracks.
And we were down here at 8 a.m. There was no water at all, even across the street there. And then we came back at 10, and the water creeped up onto the road. And then we were here when it went across the highway down there a little bit earlier. So
alarming us people and confusing wildlife. As everyone soaks it in, that guy who rushed back home emerges with precious cargo, trudging through the water with Gigi.
I couldn't leave her behind. That's my baby, so she went upstairs, but I could not leave her behind. Like they say, no trolls left behind, right? Yeah, baby, I got you.
Did you come back just for the cat?
Yeah, because we got our puppies already at my mother-in-law's. But my wife, she said, you know what, we can't leave her behind. So I told her, get going to Mount Vernon, and I'll go swoop her up. So my friend came and picked me up, and we came and got her.
For them, this night went from bad to better. But it is still very much a dire situation. In fact, a fire official just told me that the closure is going to extend a little bit further over on the eastern side of Highway 20. Again, about 3 miles in total. We also just learned that somebody, it never fails, tried to drive through it, thought they could make it, found themselves stuck, needing help to get out. In Burlington, Jim Nelson, King 5 News.
The annual Tulip Festival is a huge economic driver in the Skagit Valley. We reached out to Tulip Town today and learned they are kind of in a wait-and-see mode. Farm manager Steve Johnson says they've moved all of their equipment to higher ground. They're now just monitoring conditions closely. He says there's little anyone really can do to protect crops if water rises as forecasted. People living in a large Puyallup apartment complex have been forced to evacuate tonight. This is the crossroads at Meridian on North Meridian Avenue. A lot of water there. That complex with more than 60 units is right on the Puyallup River. King 5's Maddie White shows us how neighbors are helping each other out.
And that's because many people who live in this apartment complex came home from work tonight to find all of this water right up to their doorsteps and their carports submerged. Thankfully, neighbors are flooding each other with kindness. Jacob and Tatiani Cerns aren't taking any chances.
Headed to a friend's house.
After hearing Puyallup police issued them a go now evacuation notice.
It's crazy to see all the help. Like everybody's just coming together, trying their best to do whatever they can for others.
Somebody was evacuating out
Everybody,
of mine,
including Travis Jones.
Travis actually gave you a ride.
Yep.
Here. And that was so nice. I never met him before, but
don't have much time to react.
He's their neighbor who serves in the Army at JBLM.
It's never happened to me, and it's a little confusing.
His apartment is on the first floor with a view of the Puyallup River.
The river is probably 50 meters out.
That's a typical day.
But right now, it's in my backyard, up against the door.
But today's anything but typical.
Which is insane. It's also out front, so it's working its way around the building. Where are you going?
Just ask his cats.
It's only about toe height. It was. And now the floor's all bulged up there. That's from all the water.
Luckily, he's got a shop vac and sandbags. For those who don't, he's helping out.
I've told everybody I've met, like, if you need help, I've been working really late, but I'll go to Home Depot. I'll get you sandbags.
A little assistance from friends is inspiring others to pay it forward.
He raced here and started helping me get everything up to higher ground from the garage because we knew that's where it would hit first.
Autumn and Tim Gordon spent the evening in the rain offering help to their neighbors.
So it's the least we can do when it starts to recede from our property is to help anybody else if possible.
And just minutes down the road from here, Puyallup police are also advising people living in the Riverside Park apartments and River Trail apartments to be prepared to evacuate if necessary. Reporting in Puyallup, I'm Maddie White, King 5 News.
And more evacuations in Whatcom County. Sumas is almost entirely cut off with every road closed all the way up to the border. The downtown area is basically underwater. Neighbors say they're trying to help each other out by trying to save their homes by giving out sandbags. And in Pierce County, houses on a portion of Pioneer Way in South Prairie had to be evacuated. South Prairie Creek flooded its banks this morning. Several roads are under feet of water, and at least one car tipped over in the floodwaters. Well, some good news. Major highways are starting to reopen after landslides shut them down yesterday. Highway 2 reopened between Index and Skycomish. It remains closed over Stevens Pass all the way to Leavenworth because of debris still on the road. The detour, though, is Blewett Pass, which opened back up late this afternoon. Highway 18 is open between Issaquah Hobart Road and I-90. A slide this morning caused major delays in that area. And then eastbound I-90 is also moving again after a landslide shut it down for nearly 24 hours. You can text the word closures to the number there on your screen, 206-448-4545, and we will send you updated road and highway closures straight to your phone.
When it came through there, I don't know that he would have survived.
This is why you need to be careful when you're traveling. A man is recovering after a tree launched from the river right through the windshield while he was driving. This happened yesterday north of Leavenworth on Highway 207, right where it meets Highway 2 at Coles Corner. Roger Brown watched it happen. He says he pulled over and helped the 65-year-old driver before first responders arrived.
He stayed in his vehicle. He was in significant pain with, his head was hurting pretty bad, which is understandable. He seemed to be, he was coherent. I made sure that, he was staying alert and I chatted with him a little bit here and there and to keep him talking.
It's wild. The State Patrol says the 65-year-old driver was taken to the hospital for treatment.
I didn't know what to do, whether I should walk back the way I came because I knew that was pretty shallow, or if I should keep going forward. But this angel, Alan, was waiting for us on the other side.
A Thurston County family is grateful for the actions of strangers who may have saved the lives of a woman and 3 children trapped by the rapidly rising Chehalis River. Thurston County Bureau Chief Drew Mickelson has a story you'll see only on King 5.
Erica Woolen lives here in Thurston County. She's been seeing all the warnings about high water. She knows better than to drive through standing water. She's very embarrassed, but she said she wanted her story told as a warning to other drivers and as a thank you note to the strangers who saved her family.
I was just taking them all out to the show.
She was trying to be the cool aunt.
Trying to just have a nice family evening.
Erica Woolen and her sister's kids, 19-year-old Giovanni Frank, his 12-year-old brother Gabriel, and their 10-year-old sister Liliana were all headed to the old Satsupp nuclear power plant site to check out a holiday laser light show.
We had gone through some patches where there was water on the roadway, and there was someone directly in front of me, and he was doing just fine. Well, failed to take into account that he's like in a monster truck, essentially.
Aunt Erica didn't see any road closed signs and thought she'd get through the flooded Chehalis River, but when her car started taking on water, it shut down.
I panicked, and I couldn't get my windows down because the car was off, and so I opened the door, and water was already coming in, but it just flooded in like up to our chests.
They all got out into the freezing water, and it had just turned dark.
Giovanni's carrying Liliana. Me and Gabriel are walking towards a truck that I don't know who's in there. I'm just hoping that it's a good person, and thankfully it was an amazing person. And he just opened his doors, let us in, didn't even ask us any questions, and just started taking us back to where, to where there was dry land.
Neighbors helped Woolen salvage her car. Her husband, Mark, couldn't quite get it to start today, but they're hoping it can be repaired. They're so grateful.
A community of total strangers. Just, I don't have enough kind things to say about the Satsup's community.
While they're still shaken up, the family survived with no injuries or hypothermia. And Aunt Erica still got the kids to the laser show.
10 years from now, we'll be sitting around and it'll be a funny story about how Aunt Erica accidentally took you swimming. Yeah, in December.
Aunt Erica later found out that the road had been closed, but apparently the road closed signs had washed away. In Thurston County, Drew Mickelson, King 5 News.
We are seeing dramatic rescues like that all across western Washington. This is some new video of a King County Sheriff's deputy using a drone to drop a life jacket to a man trapped on the roof of his SUV near the Snoqualmie River. A helicopter eventually came and lifted him to safety. 16 people, including 8 children, are safe thanks to fire crews in Snohomish County. This is out of the city of Snohomish. Crews were able to get their pets out as well. And in the town of Hamilton in Skagit County, first responders rescued a woman as floodwaters surrounded her home.
How you doing?
I've been scared. I live here all alone.
Okay.
And it's my first time doing this.
So as we continue to follow the impact of these devastating floods, we're activating our Northwest response in partnership with the American Red Cross. You can donate by scanning the QR code that's on your screen in the upper right-hand corner there. Your donation goes directly to the American Red Cross to help those affected by the floods. And you can also visit king5.com to find the donation link.
Well, our forecast is going to begin to dry out for the next couple of days, but our flood waters will continue to rise and pour over roadways, at least in some spots. We'll take a look at when we could get a break coming up.